What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Kiko, Dean the Dream Collects. That was our fancy new intro that I didn't edit 5 minutes before this time, Kiko. Kiko and I were working back and forth on that one. I was editing it. I was like, all right, Kiko, what do you think about this? What do you think? What does Amy, what does the Queen think? We got the Queen's thoughts on that. So, yeah, guys. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll have a new outro too, which the outro is going to play at the end of this stream. So you want to stick around for that one, at least to see what it looks like. But guys, we are here running a little bit behind, but we are here nonetheless. We're going to make sure we have lots of good. Is that the Ween, Kiko, or was that Kevin Dean?
That's definitely Kevin.
That's definitely Kevin. Okay, gotcha.
The Weens are asleep now. They've been fed, and
Nice.
well, they haven't been fed. They had their treat for coming back inside, and they've been potty, so they're in a good spot.
That sounds great. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us Friday, March 22nd, 2024, 5:20 p.m. Thank you for joining us. We are going to lead into the weekend as great as we possibly can. And of course, guys, we got some good topics to talk about. Got a little bit of news. There was a mysterious drop today from Hot Toys that appeared on Sideshow, which a lot of people didn't know about, which Kiko, we're going to talk about that. And Dean, we're going to shift that topic just a little bit to make it work. But let's address this beautiful panel, this Avengers level panel, as we always say. Kiko, something going on with your username today. What is Kiko at 10K? What's going on with that? You got to explain that one to me.
Yeah. Well, it's been 6 years, Will. I've been really grinding. Success does not happen overnight. And this isn't even success, but this is a personal milestone that I'm really happy to finally achieve. I've eclipsed the 10K mark on Instagram, and I'm happy for that. Because that is not an easy feat because, like I said, it took 6 years to get there. And from someone that just got into literally this hobby because of toy photography. I mean, I've always collected, but being able to collect at this scale was simply because of toy photography. And I thought of look at that. And look at the 10K. It's official.
10K, baby.
But yeah, one thing is that, people would always say, oh, you can buy likes, you can buy viewers, you can buy followers, but you can't buy community. And that's the difference, is that everything on there is 100% organic. And I think it shows by, the success of even this stream and our YouTube audience as well. And my YouTube audience specifically that engages with me. I engage with every single person that messages me, unless you're an asshole. And even the people that are assholes, random fact, if you're sitting there watching, there's sometimes people send me stuff. I was like, this dude's a dumbass. And I send it, and I'll send that to Will. And I'll be like, what is this person talking about? But I will engage with you, and I want to have a civil conversation. I believe that being able to build a community is really what helps, build some credibility. So we're officially at 10K. So now what we're trying to do is get to 10K on YouTube, which a little bit more of a hurdle to get to because I once again do it organically there. We're not using shorts to boost that up just so we can get the quick TikTok the people flying in there. No, I want real engagement, and we'll get there when we get there. Sitting around 7,400, I think, which is still an accomplishment. The fact that 7,400 people want to actually watch the stuff I put out, it is what it is. So yeah, Kiko at 10K.
That's very exciting, dude. Well, congratulations on the 10K. That's absolutely huge. I've always said you're the king of IG, bro. And I make sure that that's true, guys. I've been talking all day to Steve, so I'm like fucking exhausted at this point. But nonetheless, we're going to have a fun live stream. Kiko,
Yeah.
let's just say that I retain the concept that you are the king of IG. Riley's young. He's got that young brain, but you can think like the youngins. So you can compete with them. So I'm happy about that. But we also have Dean the Dream. Dean, I think it's your sex appeal that's throwing me off, bro. It's been missing from this band. I mean, because you haven't been here in several weeks. I mean, you've been playing Final Fantasy.
And if I can just go ahead and get this out there.
Go for it, Kiko.
Yeah, because Dean, it's been a minute since you and I have been on together. All right.
Yeah.
And before we got on here, I'm like, bitch, I've been messaging you. He's like, no, you haven't. I'm like, yeah, I did. And I went back to look at our messages, and we were just, shitting on Disney Star Wars. That's what we were talking about. We weren't talking about what I'm actually upset about.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
I wasn't in that group chat, apparently.
I've been vocal on all these streams about how you led me astray and fucked me. And
are you talking about that game?
Avatar.
At least you know about it. But since then, ever since I've not touched it since, and I hate that game. And I went back to start playing the Arkham Knight trilogy because Pandora sucks. So there you go, Dean. We're good.
I did you a favor. I let you play great games.
I guess. But Dean, you and I are cool. We're cool. but I'm not going
Yeah.
to be taking your gaming advice anymore. I'm not taking Will's either because
No.
you like cinematics. That's all he
Kiko,
cares
you
about.
never listen to me, bro. But I'm telling you, you'll be a believer, bro. You will. If you play Ghost of Tsushima, if you
I don't
play
want to watch a movie. I can watch.
It's not a
Shogun if I
movie
wanna do
though.
that.
It's a game, dude. You can play. Dean, talk some sense to this. No, you don't trust Dean.
I can't.
Yeah, yeah, Dean, yeah, you don't trust Dean. But I
Yeah,
will
Dean's
say,
goodwill is out.
yeah, exactly. But Ghost of Tsushima, bro, the gameplay is phenomenal. As is Last of Us 1 and 2 for that.
But please, Dean, take the floor back.
Yes,
Say
Dean.
what's going on with you. That was
Anyway,
my
Dean,
fault. I
you're
just wanted to
out of
clear the
trouble.
air.
You've served your time. You're out of trouble. You were out for 3 weeks, so that was Kiko's
Yeah.
banishment for you. But what's going on with you, Dean? How's life? How's Kevin, man? How all the ladies? Because I know there's a lot of them.
Yeah, Kevin's good. No ladies at the moment.
What? I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that for a
That was
second.
one, but here's Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Look at Kevin.
He's a sweet boy.
Nice. How old is Kevin?
Kevin is, I think I got him in right before the pandemic started.
Oh, okay.
So
What, like
2019? So 4 or 5?
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Yeah.
But yeah, just hanging out on CW. We've been playing a lot of Helldivers. That game is incredible.
Apparently, Josh Pence is addicted to that because he's been like live streaming it, and he says I'm addicted to it. Tell me about it. Is that worth it, Dean?
Bro, that game, not only is it only $40, but it is incredibly addicting. It's basically Starship Troopers, like the game. Like
I saw Star Wars Theory playing that actually. Now that you
yeah,
said
you
that.
just jump in with
except
a
me.
squad of 4. It's way easier if you know the people you're playing with and talking to them.
Is it
Mhm.
only co-op though?
You can play it by yourself, but I would not recommend it.
No, I don't have
It's
friends,
hard.
so I guess that's not going to work.
Wait, Dean, is this PlayStation or PC or what?
It's PC and PlayStation.
Kiko, we could play it, dude. We could play it. Dude,
Two of us are going to take this on. He says,
we'll take on all the fucking space bugs. Why not?
Well, you can join our Collective Weekly Discord, and we have teams. And sometimes we have more than two teams.
Let me guess, Pandora players.
Well, actually, Kiko, do you even trust Dean in this recommendation right now?
Well, only because other people are playing it. Like I know Pence is playing it. Like Star Wars series is playing it. I get it.
To be fair, I said the game was beautiful.
I know
visually, and I said I'm pretty sure I said I never played it, so I don't know if it's good. But I watched the playthrough, and it seemed like a good game. I didn't say it was for sure a good game. I said it was beautiful and it looked cool.
Well,
let's go back and see what I said about Pandora. But anyway,
we're gonna have to consult
Helldivers, dude. Helldivers is cool. Yeah, it's team-based strategy. Hordes of. Did you ever play like Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, I did.
Where there's like 100 fucking zombies on screen.
Mhm.
It's like that, but like bugs or robots, and you're just trying to stay alive. It's incredible.
Dean, I like watching my video games, so I'm not sure that this one would be for me. I need something cinematic. I want to watch
mashing buttons. Hell no.
You're right. Yeah, I like watching
This is. I mean, you're constantly doing something,
right?
Because you're shooting all the bugs, and then you have these things called stratagems, which help you. Whether it's like an orbital strike or like calling in a nuke or something.
Yeah.
And each one has a different code. And so you have to put in the code. Well, try not to get killed by all the bugs. It's incredibly fun. It's so good.
Well, good to have Dean the Dream back and all that sex appeal. Kiko,
Yeah, good to
to have you back as well, and of course, and not drunk this time, which is going to be great. I think that's going to be a huge step in the right, because I don't want to get in trouble with Amy again. So that's the point right there. I do not.
We're so far past that. Like,
okay, good, because I don't want the queen to think any lesser of me. I got to keep my standing up pretty high. So
no, we've actually really, because we only got like 30 days. We have like 35 days left, and it's crunch time to get ready for our cruise bods and all that stuff, to where we'll then let loose and just have a good time. But
nice cruise bods, that's going to be important. You know what's also important, Kiko? This Umbra Operative Arc Trooper. This is really important here. And you know what? I changed this topic literally like 10 minutes ago. I had no idea that they were going to drop it today until, Kiko, it wasn't your email. Someone posted the email on Facebook. It said Kevin in it, but someone posted that, and actually Dean's dog is named Kevin. That's great. A lot of Kevins going around, but essentially the Arc Trooper was posted today actually, and they said like, okay, this is going to drop for PO at 4 p.m., which is Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So this actually dropped, and a lot of people people were put into a queue, and I logged on at actually 4:04. So I was 4 minutes late because I gave no fucks about this figure. I didn't care. It was never going to be one that I was going to pick up, right? And I was like, well, let's just see how many people were in the queue. Well, I was number 5,163, and that was me being approximately 4 minutes behind. So a lot of people said that they RSVP'd, didn't even get the email. Who knows? Who knows? We couldn't really verify that. It's all, speculation, right? Some people said they did get it. Some people were waiting in line. Kiko picked up his, I know, which is pretty exciting. But my question really, Kiko, for you is that this is another Hot Toys exclusive. There were 1,500 pieces worldwide. Sideshow is not going to have 1,500 pieces, clearly, because it's a worldwide type thing. But my question, Kiko, is, one, just general thoughts on the figure, but two, did Sideshow drop the ball here? Because I think there are a lot of disappointed customers, and I think there's a lot of angles we could look at this figure. Did people even want it in the first place? Is it FOMO? Did Sideshow drop the ball? But let's start with the Sideshow thing, Kiko. Was your experience pretty positive overall with this figure, picking it up?
Well, I sent you a picture, Will, of my experience, and I think this is the one time I was able to get a good draw, and I probably wasted it on this for all the different wait lists and queues and everything. I've been put in the high couple hundreds and such like that. There's no rhyme or reason. We've already known and established that for when they do these drops. There's nothing you can do to move up. It's completely random. But the one hack, there's mine. I got in at 44. And I had to wait 3 minutes. So the one hack that you can do is open up every browser you possibly can. I had 4 open, one on my phone, and then Firefox, Chrome, and Safari on my computer. So I had 4. 3 of them went to around 2,000, 3,000. One of them went to 44, just like this. And I was able to jump in there and get it. Now, it's so funny because I have 2 thoughts about this because it's very, very interesting, is that I think Sideshow didn't drop the ball. I'm thinking maybe Hot Toys didn't relay them with what they needed potentially, because this was, I think, previewed at the beginning of this week. And then today or 2 days ago, it officially dropped in Hong Kong. And then it is literally shipping from Sideshow today. It's heading out right now. I already got all that. So I'm wondering if they didn't communicate properly, because this was interesting. I wonder if they just opened up, their mail today, opened up their pallet truck essentially. And they're like, whoa, shit, these are sitting in here. Let's go ahead and get these out. Because the drop is usually at 11, Eastern time, whenever they were doing all the different artisans and the Comic Spidey and Wana and all. This one was later in the day, and there was no RSVP. It was day of. And maybe this is their new strategy, just kind of finger on the trigger, see what happens. And I know if I wouldn't have been browsing through Reddit, I would have been able to see that this was happening literally 20 minutes ahead of time. And I jumped on there and it worked out for me. But I know a lot of people, simply by the number of people that showed in your queue, Will, saying there's 5,000 plus people ahead of you, good luck. That's pretty discouraging. I get that. But I don't know if they dropped the ball, because once again, this isn't a have to have character. The only people that are mad they didn't get it are the ones potentially foaming. I don't think there's anybody that said, damn, you know what is nostalgia to me is that Umbra Trooper from Battlefront. Damn, that just takes me back more so than any other figure. Whenever I think about me just sitting on the couch drinking Code Red, it was the Umbra Troopers that got me through, my hard days at high school. Maybe there's one person out there like that. But this is the way, as I've told multiple times, going all the way back to the Blue Mailman. This is how you do an exclusive. It's like the nice if you get it, don't care if I don't. But it's not like, okay, here's episode 2 Anakin or episode 2 Obi-Wan. Good luck, 1,500 pieces. Then you would see the internet meltdown. This is kind of like I wish I would have got it. I didn't really need it, but it would have been nice. They're nice to haves. That's all it is. I don't think anyone is breaking their back to say, oh, the Umbra Trooper, damn. Because there's plenty of the purists on there saying, there's not the right vent holes on the side. They don't have the right frown on the mouth. This ain't an ARC Trooper, and things like that. They're like, it's not accurate. Those people that are super detailed and be like, well, okay, good. This is one you don't have to worry about. But the last piece I'll say is that for all those people saying, wow, we got Jesse, an ARC Trooper. We get a Pittsburgh Steeler ARC Trooper. Where the fuck is Fives and Echo? I know that's what everyone is saying, because we're getting that close potentially to having the ARC Troopers. So I don't know. I don't think anyone dropped the ball, but this is how you do an exclusive. And I stand by that.
Yeah, well, it's
And
certainly
mine's going for
interesting.
10,000 online. So if you want one, I have one. 10,000 or best offer.
10,000. So this is interesting because before I get to you, Dean, I have to weigh in real briefly because, I think there are a lot of trooper collectors out there, Kiko, and I think the reason they made this exclusive is because, it's not the most desirable thing. Like, how often have you heard someone said, you know what, my collection is missing one thing? It's the Umbra Operative Arc Trooper. Like, no one has ever uttered that
I
sentence.
get this on the shelf and I'm done.
Yeah, no one has ever uttered that sense in the history of humanity or collecting. So that's never been, it looks really cool, I think, for trooper collectors. For me, I played Battlefront 2 a pretty decent amount, and I have a nostalgic connection to it, and I still give no fucks about this. But I will say that doesn't mean that my opinion is everyone else's. So for those who really love troopers, I could see why you would want this. Kiko, the thing that I would reference is, as far as the exclusives go, it's a little, I guess it's nice to give people somewhat of a notice instead of being like, hey, it's going to drop in like an hour, right? I mean, that's hard because, because people are working, they might not be checking their
That's
phone.
why I said
whatever.
I think Sideshow got caught with their pants down. Either they didn't
well, if they're
know
shipping yours
or,
today.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're shipping yours today, then they had to have, right? Because they're like, we fucking have this. But couldn't they have maybe delayed it like another day and been like, okay, we're going to drop it tomorrow? Like, we have.
You want to get paid on Friday or you want to wait till Monday? Yeah. I literally said they opened up.
What?
Yeah, they opened up the pallet today, and they're like, "Shit, I got to get that out." But Will, do you want to get paid on Friday, or do you want to wait till Monday?
Right. Yeah,
that's true. Get paid today.
Yeah, that's true. You do want. That is a good point. A Sideshow's point. But Dean, so I want to let you weigh in. Dean, what are your thoughts? I mean, 1,500 pieces. Sideshow had less than that, obviously. Did Sideshow drop the ball here, sort of just throwing this on collectors, like very last minute? What are your thoughts?
I definitely think, especially if they had it in stock, I think they could have done a way better job letting us know when it was going to drop, for sure. Like, hey guys, this just arrived in our warehouse. Let's just say it got there last Monday or whatever, or on Monday. Like, hey guys, Friday morning at this time, we're going live with this. It's not like it arrived this morning and they're like, fuck, put it up. So
I guarantee
for sure,
that's what happened.
1,500 worldwide just seems crazy. It's a trooper. It's super easy to do.
5 times more than Wenwu and Suit, though.
That is true. Wenwu and Suit was only 300.
But Kiko has a point. It's a trooper. Like, it's a no-name trooper, and I'm a trooper collector myself. Like, but when you can go back and watch my thoughts on Tuesday's show on Collecting Weekly, shameless plug. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like Kiko says, cool to have, but I would rather have a Rex, a Cody, a Gree, a Bly, Echo 5s, Jesse, someone who shined on screen. This guy's not even on screen. He's just in a video game. And admittedly, I played as the Umbra Trooper when I played the game, but I wasn't like chomping at the bit. Like, I fucking have to have this. So it's a perfect character to do an exclusive, like Kiko said. 1,500 just seems low for worldwide. It's like, bro, you could make so much money selling this. Like, people love clones. Like,
but no one's buying the cap. Maybe it's because it's not the right era or the right phase helmet. Fox isn't selling, the Captain Vaughn.
Yeah, they definitely did the wrong Fox. That's why.
But maybe they just make too many of them, and that was part of it. I mean, you can still get Rex for like 175% off. They're like, please, we'll give you this and $38 if you take Rex.
Okay, I talked about this on Tuesday as well. Rex is kind of Fox too, but again, like I said, they did the wrong Fox because he doesn't go with anything. Because they paired him with the Phase 2 shock troopers, and it's like, they don't share any screen time, obviously, because Phase 1 and Phase 2. But the Rex, most people had the Sideshow V2 Rex, Phase 2 Rex, and that's a pretty solid figure. And I don't know if you have to necessarily upgrade to the Hot Toys if you had that one. And I think they were on the hype, like, man, people are paying $500 for this thing. We're going to make 1 million of them, but half the people already had one. So all the other troopers are selling out pretty much instantaneously. Even the, the pilots? It's like you see a pilot on screen, maybe, for a second or two, and people are still hyped to buy that clone trooper. So I feel like it makes sense, but also it's like, don't you want to make money? You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't know. Maybe they'll re-release it without all the helmets.
I just want to know how the hell this is already shipping from Sideshow and my Batman is still nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
That's the one. Or my Toby is nowhere
and
to
the
be found.
Tobies are still, yeah.
I made a post about that this week, is that like I have, I think 8 outstanding orders that I've already paid for. Like, where are they that have already been released? That's super frustrating.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, dude. I mean, this is a very interesting character to go with an exclusive version of. I mean, I guess it's like, Kiko, you referenced the example of Wenwu and Suit. Again, they must have had some sort of notion where they're like, hey, we don't think this is going to sell that well, but we want to make it. So let's make it exclusive and just give it a little exclusive tag, put a number on it, whatever. Not a number on the figure, but a number of units being made, right? So I'm assuming that's only, I mean, I don't know. The Trooper collector thing, that's been something that I had, like, the more I was into collecting and started doing live streams and stuff, I was like, do people really give a fuck about Troopers? And turns out they do. Like, people really do. I mean, that's why they make them, because they're so inexpensive to produce and people buy multiples typically. This, you're not buying multiples of, clearly. But, you know, this is, I mean, I'm excited for the people that picked one up. I'm a little disappointed that, you know, regardless of who dropped the ball, who's to blame here, that some people didn't even really feel like they got an opportunity to get it. And that's, you know, I get the exclusivity thing, but I feel like maybe I saw a comment about 24 hours notice. I think that would have been fine. Like, give people a notice saying like tomorrow at 4 o'clock, tomorrow, or maybe Monday, right? Whatever. Something like that, I think would have been ideal compared to we're dropping it in an hour or two. Like, I mean, that's, you know, I think that's just tough, but you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you didn't get it, I mean, you can always go searching for it. You might have to pay more, obviously, but
does this build FOMO and build more sales? Like, do they think potentially if they announce it, not enough people would show up? I mean, is it a strategy?
I mean, it could be very much, Kiko, a situation where Sideshow's like, let's get people to be constantly checking our site as frequently as possible to be looking for these type of things. I mean, it could be, you know, they want you to pay attention, clearly.
That's nefarious.
Like, they want you to pay attention for reward points. They want you to pay attention for exclusive drops. They want you to follow their social media for updates. It all sort of is connected together. So, you know, that could be a valid theory where you say, like, you know, we really want you to stay in touch with us, so we keep you up to date. And they'd be like, well, if you had been following us, you would have known this shit was dropping, right? Or if you had been subscribed to that email or RSVP'd, you would have known, even though some people didn't get it, but regardless. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, again, the Trooper collector thing always throws me for a loop a little bit. I'm a little surprised that people care so much about this figure, but again, everyone has their tastes, and I get that. People think I'm crazy for liking the sequels, right? I mean, I have 2 Kylo Rens, so people think I'm crazy. So, you know, I don't think anyone's crazy for liking Troopers, but it does surprise me how much people care about them. No. But I do think people.
Well, people know you're crazy.
I mean, that's true. That's definitely true. But I will say that I think people care a lot about, you know, Troopers in general, but I think people care more about this one, some anyway, because it's exclusive. So I do think, which is Hot Toys knew, because they said, you know what, some people might not give a fuck about this yellow ARC Trooper, but we're going to make them give a fuck by making it exclusive. So that's what they did. But you're right, Dean, they probably could have made a little bit more money, I would speculate, based on, you know. But,
I will say this. If it was just a regular release, I would have gotten one. But I was like, I'm not gonna fucking sit in a queue, wake up early, like fucking go through the hassle of like trying to get one.
Yeah,
forget it. I don't like the Umbra Trooper that much. Yeah. I have the 3 3/4 inch vintage collection. I have the Black Series. That's good enough for me. But if it was a regular release, I would have pre-ordered it. Because
Black Series Umbra.
Oh, did they? Well. See, you gotta be following Dean, Kiko. He gives good advice, not video games, but the rest of it. So, Mark Attack have a good comment. Will you have Praetorian Guards? The Praetorian Guards were cool, bro. Kiko even likes Praetorian Guards. I'm pretty
sure. I said that? no way.
I would assume so, though. I mean, how could you not like them? They're fucking red and cool, dude. And they fight. I mean, they got the knife photoshopped out of his hand or CGI'd out of his hand, but short of that, I mean, they were pretty cool otherwise. So,
well, there's a lot of red things that look cool that aren't.
Really? Like, what do you mean? Like a tomato? Something like that?
That's a great example because I hate tomatoes.
You hate tomatoes, dude?
I love ketchup. I love tomatoes like sauce. You know, I love tomato soup.
Spaghetti?
I love spaghetti, but I cannot have like an actual tomato on my sandwich. That's disgusting.
What about salsa? Would you eat chips and salsa?
I love salsa. Love salsa.
Okay.
But there's something about the actual tomato itself. If they're like, okay, this comes with, you know, bacon, lettuce, and tomato,
Yeah.
Hold the tomato. Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, you know what's they're also going to hold, Kiko, is the InArt Batman. Because there's been an announcement, and by the way, Kiko kind
Hell
of
of a segue.
I actually don't want to spoil too much of it, but Kiko and I talked a little bit about this. So this is going to be interesting, I think, because we might be on opposite ends, but I guess we're going to find out because I have no idea what he's going to say. He didn't want to spoil it for me. So InArt actually posted like an apology. They said they sincerely apologized, saying that, you know, any inconvenience they've caused for this Batman not releasing sooner. You know, this Batman's actually going to be shipping at the end of this month, apparently. Again, that's for the first sort of influencer batch, whatever you want to call it, first batch Hong Kong, influencer batch. So I don't know how the previous the batches after that are going to go, but I guess we're going to find out over time. And my question, Kiko, would be, has InArt earned the benefit of the doubt so far? Because, you know, they've released a Joker 2-pack, they've released a Pennywise, Gandalf. I get it. Not everyone has their Gandalf, and I know you probably might go that direction, but I guess we're gonna find out. There's some people that still message me every day and they're like, bro, have you heard anything? Where's Gandalf? I'm like, man, I don't know. Hopefully, Kit just posted another update saying a lot of Gandalf orders are about to ship, I think like today or tomorrow. So I guess we're going to see with that. But the Batman is set to ship at the end of this month, apparently. And InArt has apologized for any sort of delay. Kiko, do they deserve the benefit of the doubt here? Do we need to, you know, give them a little bit of, you know, praise and sort of a little bit of a pass here for communicating so openly? Or should we just say, no, this shit should have been shipped a while ago? What are your thoughts?
I don't know what you're waiting on when you post a picture. Maybe it wasn't an official picture of the boxes sitting in the warehouse. So obviously they've been packaged and such. So what are they waiting on to, you know, take them to the courier? Like, what's the holdup? Because they're obviously ready. So what are you waiting for? Are you planning out logistics, or are they getting the names of those influencers that they need to ship those out to first? Is that what the holdup is? I don't know. So I got two thoughts on this when it comes to their releases. I don't know if they've earned the benefit of the doubt because they don't have the quantity to show. Because, as I said, 2.5 releases in 2.5 years. Is that a fair like time frame? How long have they been around? 2002.
Yeah, like the Joker
22?
was announced, I think 2 years ago. It was announced 2 years.
Okay.
So we're about
Okay.
2 years. We're about 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I'll even give you Gandalf. 3 years, or I'm sorry, 2 years, 3 figures, and a slew more actually up for pre-order. Now I look at that and everyone's like, well, Hot Toys takes about 18 months to get theirs out. They're doing the same thing. Yeah, but Hot Toys also put out like 80 as opposed to 3. So, and then like, well, you can't when you have perfection, you can't rush perfection, and I'm willing to wait forever for perfection. You know, don't you understand that quality takes time? The reason Hot Toys puts out so many is because they're ass. They suck as a company. They cut corners. I've not seen a good Hot Toys head sculpt in 13 years, is what people say. And so they're like, that's why they put out so many. So on one hand, I see that, okay, they are meeting their windows, but their quantity is just still so head scratching. What is taking so long? Perfection is what they'll say. But I don't know. There's not enough sample size in hand to be able to say. For the past 2 years, Will, I've been saying that this will be the death nail is their distribution and their ability to get this into the people's hands, because you eventually will become the joke of the community. And everyone's like, don't you understand? Collectors understand they have to wait at this point. That's just part of it. Statue people, blah, 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 blah. You know, and they just have every excuse in the world to like explain away why this is okay. And I'm sorry, I don't think you should just explain away that it's okay. I just don't think you should. I don't think for everyone that says, you accept mediocrity from Hot Toys. Hot Toys is ass. Well, you're accepting mediocrity when it comes to their distribution. You really are. Because if you do not call that out, then that's a problem. And look, it even gave me a presumptive like. Did you like that? So that's my thing, is that you can't have it both ways. Either Hot Toys is ass and they cut corners, or InArt is also ass because they're not working on their distribution and their batch stuff. So who's the villain? That's what I want to know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I guess you have a point there. I mean, to me, I guess you could have, both things could simultaneously be true. Like I do think, I mean, you're always going to have like dedicated fans on either side, right? You're going to have a lot of InArt fans that are going to like Hot Toys is ass, or you have Hot Toys to be like InArt's over fucking rated, whatever. I mean, it's no different than PlayStation and Xbox or fucking anything else, LeBron or MJ, right?
But aren't you trying to like proselytize at this point to where you're trying to say, I'm trying to pull these people away from the Hot Toys market base to come over to me?
Yeah. To a degree.
You know how many? Do you know how many people have messaged me on Instagram, because I love engagement and I'm at 10,000? You know how many people have messaged me and they said, "Hey, what do you think? Should I get the Hot Toys or wait for the InArt Batman?" This is the biggest release when it comes to the InArt versus Hot Toys debate, and it's been going on before anything even shipped, because I said this is the way we'll know which company is going to be it. How many people have said, "Do I just get the Hot Toys one now, or should I wait?" It's going back and forth forever. So people are wondering, okay, do I jump on this train or not? And they're not doing anything, in my opinion, to win those customers.
Yeah, see, Kiko, the thing and Dean, I want to let you hop in a second here. I don't want to dominate this conversation, but I will say I got a message just like that today, actually. I got a message today. It might have been the same person. I don't know. You and I maybe both got messaged, but a person messaged me, a collector, and said, should I just pick up the Hot Toys Batman or should I pick up the NR one? I was like, I mean, well, if you already have the NR one pre-ordered, just wait. And, if it takes fucking forever, then you can go get the Batman one. So the Hot Toys one. So be it. But I mean, I do think the thing that InArt is going to win people over with is their quality at the end of the day. And I know, like you said, that's not everything, but as long as they deliver figures that are really high quality, like they have so far, I think people will be willing to overlook small things. When the quality starts dropping and, they have to wait forever and the quality doesn't deliver when you get it in hand, then you have a major problem. But if you deliver a Gandalf and you say, okay, I had to wait a couple months longer than I wanted, but I got it in hand, it was fucking worth it. At that point, I think people are going to have a short-term memory. Should they fix? Doesn't mean they shouldn't fix it. They shouldn't fix the distribution, but they're also not as established as Hot Toys, right? They don't have the distribution network that Hot Toys does. So I mean, it's something that they have to build up over time. So it might be unrealistic to expect that they'd have that right away. I think that would be something that I would say. But Kiko, I want to let you offer a rebuttal, but I want to get Dean in real quick. Dean, do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, do you have any speculation about what's happening here with the Batman? What are your general thoughts about it?
You were making some sense there for a second about
every once in a while.
When InArt does release something, it's stellar. It's high quality. It's great. It's objective fact that they release a great fucking product. That being said, you said something to the effect of like, people can overlook something small, like waiting a while. If there are people still waiting on Gandalf, Justin put up his review of his 6 months ago. And there's still people. That's not an insignificant amount of time. You said a couple months. That's half a year. And they're still waiting. So who knows when they're actually going to get it.
And that builds resentment as well.
Yeah, that's pretty inexcusable.
Yeah, my review was 6 months ago too. But yeah, I mean, but you also have Chinese New Year in there for a while too.
Oh, fuck off with that. I'm so tired of that being an excuse.
That was about a month. That was about a month, dude. It was like, a couple weeks a minute.
Well, no, because everyone always says, okay, we're taking off for this week, and then they turn it into like a 58-day thing.
Right. As far as the production of the factories go, that's what I've heard. At least the Chinese New Year can tend to extend beyond what's described. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good point.
Regardless of what it is, I mean, that's a big leap in time scale. So it's like, if this Batman releases tomorrow, some people aren't going to see it until January, potentially. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you mean January of next year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a valid point, but I don't think it'd be that long. Like I told
Riley that he's going to have his Artisan Anakin before he gets this.
When is I don't know when Artisan Anakin's set to release. I gotta look that up, but
guarantee it's before Batman.
I'm just saying.
We'll see.
The Gandalf numbers right now, and there were still people getting Jokers as late as like 2 months ago.
Probably from spec, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so that's what I'm saying. Like, potentially all the way into next year, because some people get it later than others. People are still waiting on their Gandalf at 6 months. Who knows when they'll actually get it in hand? So potentially 2025, worst case scenario. That's a long fucking time. It's like, bro, I could go buy the Hot Toys right now. And like, is the InArt that much greater than the Hot Toys one? For this particular character, I don't know. I don't think so. The Gandalf, 100%, right? Although it's not Hot Toys, it's
Asmus,
it's
undeniably
Asmus.
better than Asmus.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, undeniably better than Asmus. That's but like the Batman, I don't know. Like looking at the two side by side, it doesn't look like it's exponentially greater.
Yeah.
And then if you don't buy the Batman today and you wait for your InArt, that Batman's going to sell out from the Hot Toys potentially, also. And then you're still waiting. So it's like, it's tough, man.
I mean, Dean, that is a very
sell.
fair point. I will concede to you guys. The 6 month thing of Gandalf, the fact that my review and Justin's review and others were put up 6 months ago and people still don't have it, I do think that's concerning for sure. I do agree with you there. I do agree. I do find that concerning. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, they are going to get it. It's not that they're not going to get it, but I do agree with you on that. Just to be clear.
Yeah. And that's
I'm not saying
Batman...
that InArt. Go ahead.
Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, like, I'm not saying that InArt is Toys Wonderland, but how many times it's like, oh, it's coming, but that shit never came. Like, what if for some reason they're just dragging their feet because maybe they're low on cash supply or something, and there's a lot of reasons, and I just don't know what it is. There is a reason it's taken this long, and don't give me the bullshit about quality control. There is a reason. No, bullshit. Come on.
Dude, but Hot Toys doesn't really have that type of production because everything's sculpted besides Artisan. So we'll see. With Artisan, I'm assuming they're going to get everything out at once. I would think.
But then why is it the sculpted version of this Batman coming out way sooner than
I guess they want to release them at the simultaneously, but I don't know.
Do they? Because their Gandalf release wasn't simultaneous as shit.
Well, they never had a sculpted Gandalf, but
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah, they never had a sculpted.
I'm just saying, like,
that would have looked like shit.
First batch was 6 months ago. Last batch is still waiting for it. It's like it's not simultaneous at all.
I do get that. Yeah, I do get that. But I just mean like the simultaneous insofar as like it's sculpted and rooted coming out at the same time for the first batch or whatever. So I think that's kind of the idea. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, yeah, I mean, I do think, honestly, look, I do think they deserve a little bit of credit here for saying like, hey, like, we apologize for the delay and hopefully we get this out to you. I would like at some point for them, maybe another interview or something could speak on the idea of the batch system. And, Pennywise is all out there. So that's great. Pennywise is great. Joker's all out there. That's great. But Gandalf has been the one kind of hang up where people are maybe starting to get a little concerned considering like, even if you ordered from Kit and you still don't have it, like that's, that's a long time, but I do think, at the end of the day, people are going to be very happy with what they get. But I understand also the frustration of it taking this long. I get it. Trust me. Especially if it's a character you truly love. I mean, if you really love Gandalf and you want that fucking figure bad, like I get it. So, and I don't think that complaint is unfounded whatsoever. I do think that's very legitimate. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for your thoughts on that one. I think that would be fine. So. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I can see a lot of comments already. This conversation has got people pretty excited and pretty engaged. So guys, keep the chat going. As long as it's respectful, just keep it going and make sure we're talking about the same things here. But yeah, we did get a super chat. I wanted to bring this up. Batman Collectibles, thank you so much, bro. $1.99. Can't wait to receive my InArt bats in March 2025. Dude, I honestly don't.
You and me, brother.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I'm hopeful that this InArt Batman is going to ship a little more quickly in terms of the batches, but I don't have any insight into that. So, I don't know, but that's just my hope. Right. So I guess we'll find out. But if you want a Hot Toys Batman and you want to pick one up, by all means, go for it. But if you have an InArt on pre-order, you can, if you're willing to wait, that should be fine too. So,
yeah. I always say like, I already don't own the thing. So like waiting a little longer isn't necessarily a big deal, but
yeah,
that's a long time.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be January of next year. I think that's probably a stretch. I don't think it's going to be something like that. I think you might be waiting till June, or you might be waiting till July or something. Worst case, if they're going at the similar rate. But I think Gandalf. I mean, Batman's hair should be simpler. Gandalf has a beard and a.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's a little more complicated figures insofar as hair.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hang up as far as what I'm aware of. I think the hang up is the rooted hair, which takes a while. So,
And we still have no
idea.
idea about their actual Bruce Wayne either. So, I mean, that's another figure altogether that we don't know.
That should be releasing
about.
around the same time, I've heard, but I don't know. Maybe I'd have to verify that. But that was my understanding. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, nonetheless, hey, when you get it in hand, I think it's gonna be pretty exciting. If it sucks ass, we'll say so. I'm gonna be reviewing it, so I think that'll be fun. So let's talk about something else here. And I'm excited to get Kiko's thoughts on this one. I don't know where he's going to go with this, but essentially we have the ModuSpace. They announced Kiko's face already. ModuSpace announced a ModuSpace Mono. So it's a new type of display case that is very similar to the IKEA DTOF. So I think this is something that is going to be pretty interesting just because a lot of collectors really they live the DTOF life, right? Like they really like that type of display case. And as far as I'm aware of, since I've heard for years, probably like a year now, the IKEA DTOF has been discontinued. You can still find it certain places. You can find the Boliden. The Boliden is out there. It's a little bit smaller, a little more narrow, but ModuSpace has created something here with the Mono that's going to be coming pretty soon. I do have some information if people want to know. As far as I'm aware, I think I'm allowed to share this. I mean, that's at least my understanding of it. So, I do have some information. I'll let Kiko weigh on this one before I share too much of it. But essentially, this is going to be dropping with more information, I believe, tomorrow. And there's adjustable shelves here. You can move these shelves around to any height that you wish. There's 3 included shelves with these. They have LED lights with, like the usual cases. So those are all going to be options for you. And it's going to be a similar type of ModuSpace. You will not be able to stack these like you do with other ModuSpace cases. So it's not going to be like you'll be able to stack them vertically or whatever. So, but it makes sense because it's like a DTOF. But Kiko, I want to ask you the question. So we got this new Mono. Don't exactly know the price yet. I know it, but I'm not sure if I can share it, but I might just anyway. So Kiko, should collectors consider transitioning if they want to still live the DTOF life? What are your thoughts?
No, no. I have a lot of thoughts on this, especially when I saw it on your story, and I forget where else I saw it. First of all, no offense to the creators of this, but this is really ugly. I don't see it being anything like the DTOF. It's much more like the Beladen or Beladen, whatever you want to call it, because it's got that thick frame, and I feel like that aesthetically is what this reminds me of. The thing, and for someone who had an unhealthy amount of DTOFs for quite some time, I feel like I have the ability to speak towards this as a DTOF collector. I essentially collected DTOFs at that point. I had more DTOFs than some people have figures, which is crazy. And so the thing that people liked about the DTOF was the unobstructed, beautiful display of all glass everything and the museum quality. So there was unhindered, unobstructed. You could see everything from anywhere. And that's what was pretty about this. So then the Beladen comes out from IKEA, which, if that's the answer to cut down on cost, I don't know what because the DTOF was always their biggest seller. So to cut down your biggest seller for whatever reason is their business decision. And then I don't really think it's completely discontinued because I still see it in stock at different places. It's just harder to find. Anyway, so then the Beladen comes out, and I feel it's a huge downgrade, mainly because of the space available that it gives you. And you just don't have that clean aesthetic anymore. The frame is just it's obtrusive and it's not visually pleasing. Now, some people may be looking behind me and be like, I see a lot of frames there. But I went with something different, and I'll get back to that in a second. But this, I don't see how this is a pretty display by any means. It looks thick and clunky. It does not look sleek and sexy. And I may be wrong if you lined up 15 of these or whatever, but no offense to, once again, the people that make these, you can't even get your production of your normal stuff right and out on time. You really want to add something else to the list? This is InArt all over again. Hey, we're struggling to get out our stuff, but let's add something else to our pre-order list. Okay. I mean, how many times have we heard about, hey, we're ramping up production. Hey, it's going to be quicker. Hey, there's better instructions online. Why don't we just work on what's working? Let's get that. Why don't we do that? Let's get what really works in the hands of collectors as soon as we can and at a reasonable cost. Well, I built these because I did not want to pay out the ass for ModuSpace. And I don't care that you're partners with them. I still think they are overpriced. And like, well, you don't understand the line,
mind, man. I always
I don't think that you understand just how sexy they are. The quality, the dust free, I mean, Yes, you can walk up on mine and you can be like, ooh, I don't like that. That looks a little bit shoddy. That doesn't look professional great. You got tape on this as opposed to actual acrylic, please. You can find fault there. You display what you want. Your displays are your displays. And that's why I love these, because I built them with my own hand, my own sweat. So there's a little bit invested stock in there for me. But this, I don't own ModuSpace. I know, Will, you talk about how great the lighting is and all this stuff.
Yeah.
This just does not look good. I'm sorry. And I know the price is not going to be appealing. The thing about the DTOF that was so appealing back in the day, before, I don't want to get political, before things got out of control, is that $59.99 was what a DTOF was. And you're like, shit, an all glass cabinet, let's roll. And that's why I stocked up on those bitches. And then they jumped to like $129, and then things got out of control. I put something on my story today that showed that the 5-layer burrito used to be 89 cents, and it's now $5.63.
I saw that, actually. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah, I mean, inflation is real.
Clearly, bro.
So this just does not do it for me. And the reason I moved on from this type of display is because things are getting bigger, because they're trying to give you more bang for your buck. You get bigger display. I'm just thinking about the Toby thing. You get a bigger, Sandman display. You got Sam Wilson cap. You got different vehicles. You got a Hulk. There's all kinds of big things coming. The bases are getting bigger to give you more bang for your buck, to say, okay, let's come back with InArt. I just don't think that this type of display, if you're going to have a certain amount of, it's going to really limit the amount of stuff you can display. And you can't buy these like you used to buy the DTOF and just get like 15 in a row and be like, okay, here we go. Because now you have a smaller space to display all these, and then the cost just does not make sense. I'm willing to bet, and Will, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. I'll drop the mic on this. I'm willing to bet this is not even close to affordable what the DTOF pricing was. I may be wrong, but Will, if you're getting ready to tell us the price, go right ahead. But those are my thoughts. This is not for me, and you won't see me using it.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable. And Kiko, I have to say, for the record, bro, your display cases are beautiful. You've created a beautiful display behind you, and you should be proud of that, because it's not.
I am proud because they're mine.
Yeah, you built it, dude, by scratch, man. You followed good instructions. Like, that's fucking hard. So all these people out there, and I saw Costa in the chat, so shout out to him, Pop Culture Living Room. Check out his channel. So a lot of great stuff over there. But essentially, like, those type of people that can build display case like that, including you, Kiko, it's very impressive. It's great, and that's never something that I think any of us should scoff at, because it's a really cool thing that you did that. That, for me, I'm not a super handy person. I know you kind of learned to be. Maybe I could learn to do that, but I haven't really put in the effort. Yes, there you go. Amy forced you to see. Like, you were like Deadpool. You were forced to evolve, and then you got superpowers, basically. But essentially, that's what I would say. So to me, maybe I could learn to do that. And I think the rest of us could, but a lot of us sort of like the simplicity and the ease of something like that. Just not buying something, right? So yeah, I mean, I was going back through my messages, and I'm pretty sure I'm just going to say it. So from what I understood, this is going to be priced about $220 to $240. So compared to a DTOF, Kiko, like, the DTOFs ended up going up. So this is, DTOF was like what?
Let's say 130, and then you'd have to pay like $40 for lights. So it's still it's a little bit more.
It's a little bit more, but $220 to $240 somewhere in there, plus shipping. But I mean, it just depends. If you order a ton, the shipping was not that expensive, and I ordered like these fuckers. So I mean, they didn't come like this. Obviously, you had to assemble them. But essentially, yeah, I mean, that's what
Is it still a 15-inch depth? Like, is it still the same dimensions, or is this like delayed in size?
I think it's going to be similar dimensions to the DTOF, as far as I'm aware. I'll know when I get it in hand, because I'm going to be reviewing one of these. But essentially, like, I think it's bigger than that. I think it'd be closer to the DTOF. So it is, though, like you said, though, it is aluminum. It does have that sort of magnetic front. It doesn't have that all glass look. It'll have acrylic, as far as I'm aware, just like the other ModuSpace cases. So I mean, to me, look, and this is always a tricky thing, Kiko, and I understand where you're coming from about this. So it's always a tricky thing, and for any YouTuber or anyone out there trying to determine like who you want to have like a relationship with or partner with, whatever. It's
Which
always
I have no relations.
Yeah, and I respect the hell out of that, because it's always something you have to strike a balance of. And Dean, I'll let you weigh in a second here as my dehumidifier comes on. But essentially, it's always a tricky thing to balance, because you have to because then you have to wonder, well, like, is my opinion now discounted to people because I have sort of a business relationship with this company? Like, am I biased, right, so to speak? I feel like I've always been pretty fair and objective. Like, if I honestly thought this looked like dog shit, then I would tell you. I mean, which, by the way, I'm about to review this Loki statue, right, from Queen Studios, which I don't want to spoil, but there's some things in there that are not exactly super positive towards Queen Studios, who obviously is the parent company of InArt. So we're going to see how that turns out. But essentially, I actually really like this case, Kiko. And Dean, I want to let you hop in. I really like this. This is probably not something that I would go crazy for, like going out of my way for, because I enjoy the 6 series, the 6 165s. But for DTOF collectors, I do think this is going to be a good option if that's something you want. But I'm with you, Kiko, 100% as far as delivery times, wait times, stuff like that. The quality control, I think, is there. I think that's not a problem. I think they're great with customer service, but insofar as the delay times and the wait times, for sure, that's an area they need to improve. I think that's 100% without question. There's no debate there whatsoever. I think that's definitely a case. Brian, I'm sure, knows that. And they have gotten better as far as I'm aware. So, mine took about a year to get in hand. So, but overall, like I mentioned, the shelves are adjustable. I think that's cool. I do think it's going to be pretty simple to put together. I guess I'll know somewhat soon. But, I do think this is a nice option for collectors. And I understand where you're coming from, Kiko. You don't like the aesthetics of it. I like it. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I like the all black sort of look with the acrylic on the sides and the front. I think that's fine. But Dean, I want to let you weigh in here. I don't want you to let you be off the mic for so long. Sorry about that. But what do you think, Dean? I mean, this is a DTOF-like case from ModuSpace here. Do you think collectors are going to embrace this? Should they? What are your general thoughts overall?
I think it's a plus that they have the ModuSpace name attached to them. But that seems kind of expensive. I mean, I've seen people basically making taking those like metal garage shelves and turning them into their own kind of Modu case kind of thing for way cheaper. Is that what you did, Kiko? Okay.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah. And I don't
fucking pro.
I mean, it's also a lot of work, and it's like, am I willing to do that, or do I just want to give ModuSpace $200 for a couple of these? So there's definitely pros and cons. When you said that they were making these, I got really excited, and then you pulled up the photo, and I was like, oh no, that's not what I was.
Did you want all glass? Maybe would that be preferable? Kind of like the DTOF?
Not necessarily all glass, but definitely more than what we're seeing. I think that door is just.
It's the edging.
I thought it was going to be a little bit sleeker.
Edging thing. I think that's because of the magnet. That's just kind of how all the ModuSpaces are with the magnets and sort of the frames, I guess you could say.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen for sure, but like Kiko also said, like, do I want to wait forever to get these? That's one of the reasons I never got the Modu cases. It's like, I don't want to wait that long. Like, I'll just have my DTOFs and call it there. But I guess depending on how your review goes, I might be sold. I don't know. Do you know when that's going to happen?
Pretty soon. I think mine's being delivered sometime soon. So I do think that's going to be something that is going to be pretty exciting. So I'm going to set it up. Hopefully I'm going to set it up whenever I get it. I'm gonna get my mom to help me, and maybe I can film it and just review it and talk about all that stuff. But from what I've heard, like I said, they had noted that the batches are apparently going to be in like 6 to 8 weeks from what I've heard. And then also you have, like I said, the price of $220 to $240. So I don't know if the wait time is 6 to 8 weeks. I would assume it's probably longer than that, but again, that is something I do feel like they need to improve on. But I do maintain, just from the ModuSpaces I own, that once, similar to InArt, Kiko is right about that. Once you get it in hand, you are going to love it. I mean, that's just my honest opinion on it, regardless of anything else. So, honestly, they've taken my collection to a whole nother level. I mean, before I had ModuSpace cases, my collection, I enjoyed it, but this is kind of what I had always dreamed of having. And I think they've done that. So I think that's why I really like it. So. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic just because, I want to make sure, but there'll be more information to come. But as far as that's probably as much as I can share at the moment, but I will definitely share a lot more soon and get people some more information. But Kiko, I love it, dude. I love the honesty, man. You never have to pull punches with me, dude. You said on a stream, we're best friends. You're welcome. You're best friend. So totally fine.
And I even messaged you when you sent me the thing. It's like, hey man, I just want to let you know I might come hard at you at some of these, but I just want you to know it's all in good fun.
Yeah, dude, 100%, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to have a fun, productive debate, and then and of course talk about fucking it. That's all we care about, dude.
Do we have a positive topic that we can eventually go? I feel like I've shit and just been negative for like 3 straight. Is there anything that I can say that is happier? Yeah, I mean, I was mad that I was saying that everyone that messed out on the Umbra stuff, they dropped the dropped the ball. I complained about InArt. I complained about this.
Yeah.
Do we have anything positive?
You're pretty negative, but we are going to talk about some positive shit. But I have to get these super chats. I'll pick the next topic I'll pick a positive one. We'll talk about that. I'll try to anyway.
I just want people thinking I'm a piece of shit all the time.
You never are, dude. You never are. So Civilian Sal collects. Thank you so much, bro. $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it. He said my order was shipped on November 24th, and I just barely got half my order. Who knows when I'll get the rest? You might want to reach out to Brian if you haven't already. And see kind of what he says about that. I'm not wondering, maybe where the other half custom or something. That can be my only assumption. Custom orders do take a little bit longer, so that would be my, I don't know, that would be my speculation. But I would reach out to them, Sal, because that seems a little sus to me. So I mean, I know they'll get it to you, but it's just a matter of like what happened with that order. That's what I would say. So thank you so much, bro. I would reach out to them. Carlos, $10 super chat. Thanks so much, bro. ModuCase uses texture tape on front window as a black border. Lights and diffusers are literally from Amazon. I bought one ModuCase to fully take apart. It's slightly better than a garage shelf. I think I saw this. Carlos did I appreciate the super chat, by the way, bro. I think he did a video like way back, Kiko, on this.
Showing all the different things and how they're made.
Yeah, exactly. So we like took the whole thing apart. I mean, for my recollection of it, like he got like a super fucking tiny one. He got like a ModuSpace size, the size of an Apex case, right? Which is like, it's meant to hold one hot toy figure. And ModuSpace cases aren't really built for that. So regardless of the methodology used, I would say they're not really built to have a case that size. So you can get it custom made to that if you want. But yeah,
should they be made for these little 4 DTOF shells?
I think that would be fine. Yeah, but the Apex cases are literally, Kiko, like the size of like a fucking, like, you know, they're meant for one figure. They're like 15, 17 inches tall or something. They're not that big. So, but as far as the lights on Amazon, I'm not sure if that's true or not. I haven't heard that ever.
But we get everything from Amazon anyway.
I mean, I don't know, but I do know the tape thing. There is some truth to that. I mean, like there's a tape sort of border around the door, and that is something that they do. But you're never gonna know, like unless you did what Carlos did, and you're literally picking the thing fucking apart. You're never gonna notice that. Like it's like I'm literally tearing it apart to find what's in it. Like I mean, beyond that, I didn't even really know because until Carlos did that, because I was like, why would you even care to know that? Like that doesn't, it's so completely irrelevant to anything you're doing. So yeah, you just put the door on and it's magnetized and it looks good. That's all I care about. Then it's going to maintain itself. So unless you're like literally picking it apart and dissecting it like you're playing Operation, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. So that's what I would say. So Rome Moreno, thank you so much, bro. 1999. Personally, don't like DTOFs that much. They limit the amount of collectibles you can display. Collect what you like. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge DTOF guy anymore. Kiko had like 30 or 40. I think I had 4 or 5. And they were pretty cool. I liked having them. They were great. They're very much a community 1/6 standard, but yeah, collect what you like.
Do back in there.
Can you get a do back in there?
I said you're not getting a do back.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you could take out a shelf. It's probably too deep. Yeah, with the tail and stuff. Yeah, the depth would be off. Yeah. Okay. Rome Moreno, thanks so much, bro.
So deep.
Fucking Dean should have known, bro. Thank you so much. Rita said, what? I find it interesting that collectors will have 15K worth of figures, but won't spend 2K to protect and display. That's wild to me. I mean, it certainly is. I mean, that is a mindset that you have to come around to. I mean, it's hard for all of us because we're like, do I really like, I can't remember how much I dropped for these Modu cases, but it was a lot. It was a lot of money. And I remember like, man, I dropped like, I got to spend so much on these cases, but once you get it, you're like, dude, this was absolutely worth it. I mean, whether you build your cases like Kiko did, it still costs you a decent amount of money. I mean,
just to tell people that if you're wondering, if everyone's seen my collection tour or whatever, the amount of acrylic that I used to put in there was $1,000 from my local place or whatever. I mean, the acrylic alone is $1,000. I mean, that is a lot for sure.
Yeah, and it's investment whether you build it and with ModuSpace you would have spent more guaranteed, that. So 100%. So I got one more from Civilian South. Thank you so much, bro. I reached out and after 3 weeks of back and forth on Instagram, they ship, but they never told me when the other half is going to arrive. Okay, well I would say reach out again on email and say like, hey, the other half of my order, like, can we get an update on that? That's what I would say. Beyond that, because I mean, I appreciate the super chat though, bro. I mean, I would reach out to them. I mean, I can even let Brian know if you like send me your name or something, and just be like, hey, like, is there any way you could talk to Sal and see what's going on here? But yeah, anyway, guys, let's move on from that. I don't want to waste too much time, but essentially I want to talk about a couple of different things here. And there's so much really to still talk about, but we'll get through as much as we can. So Kiko, Present Toys. Present Toys announced a Midman clothing set. So this is actually for the motorcyclists. And it was funny when I first was looking at this, I think I saw it pop up on Kit on Facebook in Kit's group. And I wasn't sure exactly. I was like, that looks a hell of a lot like the Hot Toys head sculpt. And I think it is, because this is actually a clothing set, as far as I'm aware. If someone in the chat, needs to correct me here. So it's a clothing set. Kit's offering it for $110 shipped. You can use the code WillFox or whatever for $10 off. So $100, let's say $100 shipped, right? You get the motorcycle outfit. I mean, is this another iteration, Kiko, that you think we need of the Batman? And do we trust Present Toys to deliver clothes at minimum with good tailoring? What are your thoughts here? And you need a body too, right? I mean, as far as I'm aware, I mean,
and you need a fucking bike. This does not go with the bicycle. It does not. I'm sorry, bicycle. It does not go with the bat cycle. I mean, he's driving his other bike. Right. You know, he's not driving around the bat cycle in this. So you need another motorcycle to go with this, or you can just have him standing there looking like a homeless person. And then someone walks into your display. They're like, "Why do you have a homeless person sitting there?" And they're like, "I don't know." So it's very, very awkward. And do I trust them to do clothes? No, because they didn't do the T800 clothes like they said they were going to do originally. Remember, they were with Future Warrior or Present, whatever that thing was. They fucked that up too. And genuine leather, which was not genuine leather. They lied about it. They lied. So no, you can't trust them for any of this. And it's going to look floofy and saggy. It's going to look like mom dressed you for school. It's going to be a bad situation. But if you want to drop, let's say that you have this extra head sculpt. Okay. So you got the Hot Toys Deluxe, whatever. You got the head sculpt. You're going to have to probably pay, you're getting close to like $200 to get another body and all these clothes and get everything situated the way that you want it to. And it doesn't even come with a stand. So now you got to get a stand too. And no bike. I mean, no. I mean, unless you're Riley and you're like, damn, this is Bruce Wayne. I got to get that. Then sure, go ahead and enjoy that and set that next to your Riddler and enjoy that, because you're not getting the movie for another 3 years.
Yeah.
There he is.
And I said we were going to pick a positive topic, but I forgot. So
it's just because I've been real vocal, is that I was really looking forward to the reissue of the Battle Damage Terminator from them. And when they fucked it so bad, that's why I'm mad. And I'm like, okay, well, no, you don't have anything. Because now I'm sitting there looking to find the actual DX13, because this isn't going to... I've said that I'm not going to degrade my displays anymore and go for half-assed figures. And I got plenty of half-assed figures. I've said that, and I'm working through all that and curating to get the best, looking display that I possibly have. But I'm not about to put there and let that be my representation of Terminator. And I'm not about to put this in there. Have some homeless man. I mean, that's silly.
Okay, they do give you a body. What's interesting though is like it's a little bit confusing with how Kit did it. So it does say with body up here, but then it says the list of the packing list, and there's no body listed. So that's why I think
it's probably showing you the body you need to get.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah. So I think the body is included. So you're getting the body. So that's at least something. You're getting the body. But you need a head sculpt. You need a stand, like you said. So you're getting the body. So sorry guys, that was my misinterpretation there. But essentially you are getting the body. And you're getting everything else. So, I mean, for $110, you are getting it's probably a pretty cheap body, I would assume. But you are getting the motorcycle outfit, the body, the hands. You just need a head sculpt and a stand. So, I mean, maybe you're looking at...
those hands are going to be waxy as hell. The typical, third-party hands. They're going to look so terrible.
Maybe. I don't know, dude. Dean, weigh in on some, bro. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is definitely just a complimentary piece, right? You probably already have the Batman and the Bat Cycle, so you're going to have an extra head sculpt and a stand you're not using, because presumably your Batman is on the Bat Cycle, and you just want to do something with that other head sculpt. You just plop it on this. Like, it's kind of inoffensive. It's got issues for sure, but it's it's just a clothing set. $110 seems kind of high, but that's usually the hardest part about a figure, right? Is doing the outfit. Like,
yeah.
So they've already done the work for you. It's tailored. This looks good. Who knows what it's actually going to look like when it comes out? Probably not this good. It is what it is. It's like, if you feel like you want to do something with your Batman, like, there it is. Like,
but at this point, Dean, like, if you have the InArt or the Hot Toys, whichever one you chose, right, or none at all, like, would you really be like, what, because I don't even know if the InArt Bruce Wayne is selling. Are people really going to go out of their way to get this? Like, that's to build this? I mean, that's
you're not wrong.
I mean,
I feel like it's just for those diehard people. Like
it is like Riley. Riley might get this. Yeah. Riley might get this. But I mean, overall, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about this. I think overall the clothes look pretty good. I'm a little bit worried about the body. And
I mean, you
have to buy another head sculpt, Dean. You have to buy another head sculpt. I mean, it's only the Batman. Well, no.
Well, the Batman comes with a head sculpt.
Yeah, I guess you could use it, but I mean, if you wanted to use it on your Batman, then you're gonna be screwed.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's cooler that it exists than it doesn't, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it exists for people that want it.
There's also another company doing this.
Yeah, I think someone was saying in the chat, Topo's doing it.
Yeah. We talked about it on our channel.
Yeah.
Because then we talked about this week, and I was confused. I was like, I thought we just talked about this, but yeah, that's the present. I think the Topo looks better, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like you use the head sculpt on something else you already got.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Dean, you know what's happening? We're gonna get Kiko happy. We're gonna get him smiling here because we got some. I think this is good, right? I think this is good. This is a good thing here. This is generally positive. We have Hono Studios / Hot Toys Hono Studios talking about the Wolverine figure that they updated. So as far as I've seen, since it was actually put up for pre-order, it's always how it's looked, right? But the fact that they showed what the first prototype looked like and then what it actually turned into, I think this is really cool. I like seeing this sort of peek behind the curtain, this behind the scenes look at what because if the Wolverine had looked like this with that open sort of chest area, the chest articulation, I think a lot of people would have been like, nah, this looks like a $160 figure. But the fact that they changed it and updated it, which I'll show here, to this new version, right? I think this is much, much improved. I think overall everything about it is pretty much better. So, I mean, I do think the neck maybe it could be a little bit more improved with this one, but it could just be the angle here. But Kiko, the joke here is it actually Hot Toys? Because they never communicate these type of things. They never say like, oh, we updated this, this prototype and did this or that. Like, they every once in a while they'll be like, oh, we updated a head sculpt, whatever. But this is like a whole like voiceover and a video saying like, oh, we did this and we wanted to give you guys the best. And it was like, oh, interesting. Like you guys don't really do this. But Kiko, what are your thoughts on this?
I'll take it. That's a win. I honestly don't think like the swivel chest is that bad. But I'm certainly happy with what they ended up doing to improve it. It looks like they always were planning on seamless arms. That's cool. I can't see if it looks like there was jointed knees. It looks like there were.
Oh, there were. Yep. I can try to get in a little bit, but it's not going to let me
go. But either way, it's an improvement. And who knows, maybe this would have been like an even cheaper version if they didn't upgrade it. But for the cost, the price, I think you're getting something pretty special. And I know some people were already upset the fact that the Magneto costs more already. The reason behind that, I don't know. Maybe it's the magnet hands that we talked about, which is gimmicky as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. But even if this is Hot Toys, even if it's not, who cares? It's not Hot Toys because Hot Toys is ass, remember? So it's certainly not them.
That's just ridiculous. Yeah, this is just stupid.
But I have no issues with this. I think it's a fun line. And I'm going to assume the answer is probably no. Because you're not watching Bad Batch. I'm assuming you haven't watched the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97.
No, I heard it's good though. I heard it's good,
bro. Like I was like, I'll just wait. I'll see what it is. But then as soon as the theme hit, I was like, oh fuck! I creamed my pants and everything because it's the original theme and opening, and it's so fucking good and so fucking cool. Yeah, and it's just like a modified it's the original, but it's tweaked, obviously. It's just subtly different, which makes it so good. But because it starts and it puts the Marvel animation thing, and then you see the Blackbird come in. I was like, oh my god, it was so awesome.
That's making me want to watch it, bro.
And then spoiler, not really a spoiler, but then the second episode's got a little bit of a different opening still, because some new characters were like included into it. But still, as soon as man, that gets me every time. It is so cool. So nice. I'm very excited to see this stuff from the original comic X-Men. This is pretty exciting.
So Kiko, after watching the show, did that make you want to pick up this Wolverine more?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
So you're getting it though, right? You're definitely getting this.
I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to get. I think I might have to go in all in this line, and that's that's what they were planning on. They're like, this is gonna be so badass for all those people that would sit at the Pizza Hut and play the X-Men arcade game, watch the X-Men game or the TV show. Now they could Last Jedi it and shit the bed with the storyline and everything, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, I think it's going to be okay. And there's some people that already aren't happy, you know,
Yeah.
with some of the directions that they've taken. But I'm happy. I'm excited because as soon as you hear that theme, man, I was already back in.
And I think also, Kiko, this is just a great move by Hot Toys. I mean, like offering something this inexpensive for 1.6
Yeah.
and really good quality, it looks like. I think this is an absolute win. I think this is an amazing move by them. I really got to give them a lot of credit here. But Dean, what are your thoughts? I mean, this, you know, they talk about this improvement. They advertise this improvement with the Wolverine. I mean, honestly, I'm glad they did this prior to the pre-order because, again, if they had put that left figure up for pre-order, I think this would have been a Spider-Man 2099 situation. I think this would have been like, okay, it's $160, but it looks like it, right? But rather, this one on the right is $160, but it looks like it should cost more. But what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would have been not upset because, like you said, it's $160, but it's like, but you gave us seamless arms, but everything else has seams. Like that doesn't make any sense. And again, how easy is it to just throw a yellow fabric suit over what's already there? I think it was the smart move. It was the same thing we were saying about the Spider-Man 2099. It's like, you've already done the body, just throw a suit on top of it. What are you doing? But yeah, I think this line is crazy cool. I mean, they absolutely didn't have to put this video out. So that's also very cool, just to show you like, hey, this is what we were going to do, but we pull our head out of our ass. Here's what, you know, we ended up doing. So it's crazy. Like for $160, like this level of what we could have got and what we're actually getting is wild. So yeah, that's a net positive.
I'm with you, bro, 100%. And you know, I will say that I like that Hot Toys is communicating. Again, I don't think you want to over communicate. Sometimes I think InArt can do that. They can sometimes over communicate, but I do think with Hot Toys here, this is a good balance here. Just communicating this, saying, you know, like behind the scenes, we updated this. This is way better. Everyone agrees. So I think this is a great thing all around. So this is a win. So Kiko, there's your positivity, bro. We got the positivity. I think this is really, really
We're
exciting.
about to dive into negativity again. I'm
Probably, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna have to. So we're gonna have to. But just because, you know, like, well, I don't know, Kiko, this might still be positive. I mean, you know, and I phrased this question just because you know, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about primarily, like talking about the quarter one. And again, I just want to preface these statements by saying we are less than 25% through the year, right? So we still have so much time for Hot Toys to drop some amazing announcements. And I also want to preface this by saying, as far as releases have gone, fucking killing it. Hot Toys is absolutely killing it right now. There's Gore the God Butcher, but regardless of that, right? Which I'm glad Kiko loves it. Check out his photos.
Gore wasn't a bad figure though.
I mean,
no, it was not. And look at my photo I did. Yeah,
Kiko's photos are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that figure came out way better than I think anyone was expecting.
Yeah.
It's just an underwhelming like character on screen. It was like the movie was like, so it's like whatever. But like the figure itself, I think is better than like the movie and the character.
I'm happy to own it, and I'm sure once Will gets back up here, he's going to be making a pre-order list for everything that he's shit on. Like he's like, let me grab Blue Bailman, let me grab Gore. I can't wait to see all the other things that you said were shit, and then you end up adding them.
Dude, I'll post an Instagram post like that day. I'll be like, Kiko proved me wrong. Kiko,
insert
we're all wrong all the time.
It's true. We are, especially me.
Yeah. It takes a real man to admit it. Be like, you know what?
And today I'm that big man.
Exactly. But guys, so let's look at this real quick because this is kind of what Hot Toys has announced so far. I have releases as well, but we're focused on just announcements for this topic. So announcements for 2024 thus far. So there have been 12 announcements so far. And, you know, we got some pretty good ones. But of course, we got Shin and Balin. Those are probably the two stars of the show besides Han. For a lot of fans, we have the superior suit Spider-Man. So that's a really big one to a lot of people, right? People went fucking nuts for that one. And Han, so those are probably the biggest two. You know, we got Ahsoka Padawan, Shin and Balin, you know, a couple other things. So again, we're less than a quarter through the year. So there's still so much time for amazing shit to be put up for pre-order. But as of now, I was looking at this and I'm like, I have to ask the question. Are we a little bit disappointed? Because Kiko, I think we came in with sort of these grand speculations about what we were going to see in 2024 because of the lack of content that's releasing. You know, there's the Acolyte, which, side note, that trailer didn't really wow me. But I will say we have that, and then of course we have Deadpool 3, which should be pretty exciting. But beyond that, there's really not much Marvel and Star Wars, right? So we thought, oh, we're gonna get Terminator, we're gonna get all this Star Wars 2.0s or 3.0s or whatever. And as of right now, I mean, we got Han, but nothing too crazy. So Kiko, so far about a quarter into the year, as far as announcements are concerned, are we disappointed? Are we excited? What are we thinking so far about the first quarter of the year?
So we just finished up NFL free agency, and they give like grades to all the teams. Like, all right, here's what everyone signed. You get an A, you get a B. We're going to do that here with the releases. And if I were to give Hot Toys a grade for this quarter when it comes to announcements, I'm going to go drum roll C-, because there are some really, really underwhelming pieces. Yes, the Shin and Balin are awesome. The Han is awesome, minus the hair. We'll talk through that. And then everyone loved the Superior Spider-Man. So that's 4 out of what?
I can zoom in a
out
little
of
bit more,
12. Okay, so 25% of them are good. Okay, that means 75% of them are very, very underwhelming. The DeLorean is just for one, if you have one DeLorean, you're probably not going to get all 3 of them. I mean, there's probably very few people that's going to have all 3 DeLoreans. And it's the worst one of all the ones out there. Black Manta from a failed franchise. I'm assuming that's the is that Asha? Is that the League of Legends?
It's the League of
thing?
Legends. League of
Okay,
Legends.
no one cares about that. Well, get off your high horse, America. No one cares about that one. The Kamen Riders, no one cares about that one. That's a battle damage version. No one cares about the battle damage other pieces that they do here. It's that battle damage Terminator. I love that. The Ahsoka Padawan, that's probably the worst option they could have picked. The Super Commando, people are already complaining about that one. Shin and Balin, great. The Magneto, people are complaining that it's too expensive. And then the Umber Arc Trooper, I mean, it's just okay. So C-, because the ones that hit aren't enough to save the absolute stinkers. And I think that's fair. But I also think we're running into, okay, we don't have a lot to pull from. We've had that conversation. And so like, okay, what are we going to make? I have thought they've been a little quiet as far as releases go. I mean, because let's say we're getting ready to finish up next week being a quarter of the way through 2024, which is wild. Wild to know that we're a quarter of the way through a year again. And there's only 13 things, and half of them are really, really bad. That could spell trouble unless they start really knocking out of the park. So let's set our expectations. Don't get hyped for May the 4th. I hate when people do that shit. I don't want that to be a topic. Do not put that as actually, I'm so thankful that I won't be here for May the 4th. I'll be on my cruise.
Damn it.
I will be celebrating my 5-year anniversary. I don't want to talk about it. It's not going to work. Nothing's going to come that's going to make you be super excited on May the 4th. Stop doing that. They don't care about that. Disney doesn't even care about May the 4th at this point. So I don't know. Are we disappointed? Probably, but we have plenty of things to look forward to and get hype about because there's lots of really good releases coming. And as soon, potentially, if they give us that reissue of, I'm going to start turning into reissue DX13 guy because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point, dude. It's going to happen. But I mean, overall, the releases have been bangers. But as far as the announcements, maybe there's a little bit of room for improvement. But maybe they're saving it for the second half. You know, they had us in the first half, not going to lie. But second half, it could be a good thing. Dean, what do you think, bro? I mean, what are you expecting from the second half and Hot Toys? I mean, quarter one or you know, I guess second quarter, 3 quarters. But what are you thinking about quarter one so far as announcements? Boy, Dean, I think you muted yourself. You muted the sex appeal, bro.
I did. My bad. I'm going to disagree with Kiko on this one. The only thing I agree with him on is Black Manta. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's not even the coolest version of the character. Like that suit, that design sucks. But Ash from League of Legends is huge. I've talked to people who are not collectors that play League of Legends, and when I show them that, they're like, Pandora? I want to buy that. Huh?
Do they play Pandora?
No.
They should. They should.
They play Helldivers, don't they?
Yeah, actually they do. But they're anyway, non-collectors seeing that and with their love of the game, like, I want to buy that. So there's definitely a market for Ash. They just, you know, people have to find it, right? And again, worldwide, like we're not the only market. I think that's going to do extremely well. The Kamen Rider, I don't know shit about Kamen Rider, but it's not the first Kamen Rider figure they've done. If those figures weren't doing well sales numbers wise, I guess like pre-orders, they wouldn't keep making them. So I think that's also cool to see. Shin and Balin, incredible, super great. Ahsoka, everyone loves Ahsoka, at least now anyway. So any version people want to get their Ahsoka hands on their Ahsoka, cool. Super Commando, that's probably the weakest of the Star Wars. Umbra Trooper, obviously people tripping over themselves to get it. Magneto, he's only what, $10 more than Wolverine?
15, I think. 175, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Wolverine was 165, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's 160, yeah.
I mean, still sub 200. I think that's pretty cool. I would give it a solid, I mean, with Han Solo, like a B.
But not the Han Solo everybody wants.
No, not the Han Solo, but I mean, the fact that we're even getting one is kind of mind blowing.
It is cool. It is cool we're getting one.
Yeah, when I first saw, I was like, "What?
Never
like,
tell
are
me
you
the
kidding
odds.
me?" Yeah, kind of crazy. So, I think it's got me pretty hyped for the rest of the year too. Like, if this is what we're starting with, like, who knows what we're gonna end up with? So,
yeah,
I'm pretty excited. I think especially with the Shin and the Balin, like especially with Balin, I was they're not gonna give it to us because the passing of the actor. And then I was like, and if they're not going to give us him, then they're probably not even bothered to do Shin Hati until this next season or whatever their plans are, a movie or whatever. But we got them both in the same day. So I was like, well, holy shit. I'm super hyped right now. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm at a B and excited for the rest of the year.
There you go. Well, I'm excited for the rest of the year too. I would probably give it, I'm around where Kiko's at, probably like a C, C minus, something like that. As far as now releases though, it's like an A. I mean, I think they've been killing releases 100%. And that's really
the only one they dropped the ball on was Black Adam.
Because it's $17 of tequila. That's why it all comes down to that. But thank you so much, guys, for your thoughts on that one. We're going to move on from that topic. Let us know what you think about Q1 from Hot Toys. We'll see what the other 3 quarters look like. Because again, there's still a lot of time left in the year. So, guys, let's move on to our next topic. We've got time for a couple more, I think. Hot Toys, Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader is officially low stock. And I always like to bring this up because it's just a fun conversation to have, because considering where things were at in the pandemic times with COVID and, that type of era where there was an overabundance of stock and pretty much everyone was, just buying, there were stimulus checks and this and that. But, like everything was so plentiful. Everything was overproduced. Everything was available at all times. If you pre-ordered, it was actually to your detriment because you could get it up, you could get it later and, get the figure for much cheaper than you would have otherwise. But nowadays, Sideshow is shifting us back towards clicking that pre-order button. So, Kiko, I got to ask you, Darth Vader has been a big one. And I went back and looked at this. I actually do want to share this real quick, because I looked at this while I was at work today. So the document we were just looking at, right? I tracked everything from 2023 too. And I went back and looked at that Vader announcement. This was announced for PO on April 6, 2023. So it's been up for pre-order about a year, right? About a year. So that's still a significant amount of time. But nonetheless, this is a very, very important figure and a very popular character, obviously. Then they're closing the pre-order. So it can mean a couple of things. It could be releasing soon, or maybe they're just like, okay, we haven't got pre-orders in a while. We're getting very few. Let's just close it, right? But nonetheless, Kiko, I got to ask you, are we in a new era now where officially with this Darth Vader, people need to pre-order shit? Like you can't wait for it to release and then go get it if you want it from Sideshow. But what are your general thoughts on that?
My general thoughts would probably be way too long to get to because I've already shut Dean out enough in these conversations. I apologize about that.
No, go for it, dude.
Dean just looks sexy. He's just here to look pretty. That's it.
For one, worst photo I've ever seen from a Hot Toys product. I mean, that is like Black Series Walgreens exclusive right there. That looks so terrible. Damn. I love, if you're going to talk definitive Vaders, you're probably going to be looking at Return of the Jedi or the Empire. And if they get the proportions right on this final one, I can see this being the definitive Vader for a lot of people. Despite the fact that you're not getting the Hayden head, you're going to get, the Sebastian Shaw head. but that we're not talking about the figure. We've talked about that last year. The new era. That's what we're getting to. So I saw something crazy this week of someone want to sell and in search of the one that is getting dark side Anakin levels is Crosshair. And like people are fucking losing their mind to add Crosshair to their Bad Batch. The Wrecker has officially gone waitlist, but people are like legit paying like $700-800 for Crosshair. And because I think there was just so many Echoes and Hunters, because it was kind of right during that moment when they're starting to shut all the stuff, the numbers down. They overproduced them. They put way too many out. Everyone's like, I'll just get them whenever. And then they did a very small run of Crosshair, and the people that got them, and the people that don't. And the people that want them because they're like, oh shit, I didn't think they're going to do the rest of the batch. I need Rika, I need Tick. And as soon as Tick releases, I think you're going to see these numbers go up even higher because everyone wants the full set. And I hope this is not being an elitist, because I've said I am an elitist when it comes to some of this stuff. I like things that people can't have. That's just the way I like to collect, which is why I'm selling that Umbra Trooper for $10,000. If you want that one, I have it, and you don't.
10,000, dude.
Or best offer. So I hope that for the sake of collecting, because the point that made this, I think, appealing to a lot of people was the fact originally, let's not discount the fact that people got into this hobby because there was this illusion to a degree that they maintain their value or even went up in value. And then some people are like, oh, I'm all in. I'm going to buy this, retire early because I'm going to buy 17 Captain Rexes. Oh, people are fucked when I start flipping these. And then, egg on your face. I don't want it to get to that level to where things are unobtainable. Like today, it's such a delicate balance because I got the Umbra Trooper, but I didn't get Anakin. But I want that Artisan Anakin so bad. And I think that when I finally do actually get it, whether it's waitlist or buying it off somebody or trade, whatever it may be, it's going to be so much more satisfying. Know that there was a chase to get it. And that's what collecting kind of is, or should be, that there should be some chase mentality. I know some people said, stop gatekeeping. If people want something, they should be able to get it. But everyone talks about their grail piece. The grail piece is something you chase, something that you want that you can't easily get. There needs to be more of that. If might as well just put these at Target or Walmart if everything is available at that point. So I want to get back to the not unobtainium, but a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a, hey, let me be strategic. I'm not going to pre-order everything, but I'm going to be selective and make sure the ones I really want, I'm not missing out on that, because I don't want to have to be paying $850 for a member of the Bad Batch. So is this the new era? It might be. And I'm okay with that. Because you've had a year at this point to get on this. To get on this. I don't think they're going to be taking a year to go waitlist. As we've seen, the waitlists are going a lot quicker, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And I think Kiko, I do agree with you. I do agree with that sentiment to a degree. I mean, I do think it is nice every now and then to have a little bit of a chase, to have something that you're chasing. But I mean, I think the happy medium, the happy middle ground is this. I mean, this has been on for pre-order for a year. I mean, so if you wanted it, you got it. If you came into collecting just now and, you're just now having the opportunity, that I understand. But what percentage of the collecting population does that actually entail? Like, that's a very probably small number where you just joined and you're like, okay, well, I can only get this Vader now, or I missed out or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable. But Dean, I want to get you in on this one. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you think this is indicative of anything major here? And what do you think about this Vader being low stock on Sideshow?
Well, the only other two Vaders on Sideshow currently are the Obi-Wan and then this figure non-deluxe version. I think it's 305 instead of 350. I think people want this figure, but they don't really care for the exclusive cheesy helmet with the light effects. I mean, clearly, if even that one is already waitlisted. So, I mean, Vader sells, so it's like a safe bet. It's gonna, go on waitlist at some point. Any Vader. But like Kiko said, they go. It seems like figures are going waitlist faster and faster now. So, Yeah, I don't know if it's a new era, but I think, just to reiterate what Kiko said, it's like you really have to start paying attention on what you're ordering, because it's like this character matters way more to me than this figure. And do I want to be spending aftermarket or risk it going waitlist? So it's tough. It's real tough. Yeah, I think everyone got too used to waiting for things to go on sale. And in terms of that era being over, I think that's where we're at. It's like they're going to stop overproducing this shit if they're going to have to keep selling it, for 75% off free shipping,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, what was that thing we saw? It was like a whole table of figures. If you bought them all, you got like, well, it was something crazy. Like, what was that deal? Do you guys remember what
I don't know. We
talking
talked about Sideshow? Sideshow had a deal like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, I know they were like giving away Captain Marvels. I do remember that.
Oh yeah,
and the Infinity Gauntlets, they were like giving away the Nano Gauntlets. They were like giving those away basically.
Yeah,
they were just like, please fucking take this.
Yeah, it was something crazy. Like if you bought 5 figures, you got like $300 off or something, which is basically you get a free figure.
Okay. Well, I do know recently you guys probably saw it was. I think you probably saw it happened for like maybe an hour or two where the Loki Endgame Hot Toys was glitched. Do you see that, Kiko?
Yeah, you got the 25 and 35%.
Yep. So you got the 30% off it was listed for, and like 25% off it was listed for, and then 30% off for the birthday thing or whatever. So you could get like the Loki was like
bucks.
Yeah, it was like $139 or something.
Yeah.
So people were.
Did they honor that?
I think they did. I almost bought one. I almost bought a second.
They shut it down real quick though.
They shut it down. Yeah, they shut it down because people were like, because people posted it on Reddit, and I think that Sideshow was like, we're getting a lot of orders for Loki, and they were like, oh, that's why. So I almost bought a second one, but I didn't end up buying one. I was like, even at $139, I was like, where would I even put the second one? So
yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for letting me know your thoughts on that topic. And guys in the chat, thank you so much. We have one more topic to get through this evening, and it's actually an articulated figure statue. Like this is a Queen Studios $4,400 1/3 scale silicone hog. It's a mouthful, but it's articulated. So I wanted to show this a little bit. There's some pictures I'm going to bring up, and there's also some video I'm going to bring up as well. But essentially, this is up for pre-order now. They have it on Spec Fiction, so you can pick it up there if you're looking for Queen Studios stuff. So this is a $4,400 Hawk 1/3 scale statue. So it's a big boy. There's a big boy here, and I mean, honestly, as far as the statue itself and how it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And like I said, I'll bring up the video, but Kiko, I want to get to you on this one. What do you think about this? I mean, is this innovative or overpriced? Because it is a posable silicone statue. You can move the arms. I mean, the legs are locked in place, but you can move the arms and articulate it to a degree. It's not really a statue at that point. But Kiko, what are your thoughts on this?
It's not innovative. It is overpriced. And it's unnecessary. There's your other one. Because instead of Queen working on bullshit like this, go ahead and get your Batman and all your other InArt shit down. I understand it's a separate company. I understand it's a separate company, but come on, let's pull some people over from that hall and put them in there to get my stuff out. Let's figure this out. I'm not denying it's not incredible, but damn, if you're buying a statue, you're buying a statue. What is the point? Like, well, as I told you, and you're going to be coming to the next Rager that we end up having. Then imagine like you'd be like, hey, y'all want to see my Hulk statue? You want to play with its head? Like what are you doing? Like, why is my question. It's like, if you have something that's that big, why? I just don't understand why is the question. And it's not an issue of the cost, I don't think. I mean, it's literally, that's like a toddler. That's literally a toddler sitting there. And I mean, it's cool. It's super cool, but I cannot justify like where you would even put that and why you would be like, I want to change up my pose today. It's not enough of a pose. And if
there's a nipple,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's bizarre. It looks super sick. And I'm not saying it looks stupid. It doesn't look cool, but I don't know. This puts me in a bad mood to end the stream.
Dude, but I gotta say though, Kiko, I mean, this is probably the best looking Hawk collectible I've ever seen.
Sure. I mean, it's pretty fucking like accurate. I mean,
it's pretty fucking incredible.
Even from the white little hairs in his head. I mean, it's incredible in the chest hair. Yeah.
And I do understand. I mean, I do understand to a degree why they've priced it so high, but I do think it is very jarring for a third. I mean, J&D, we've always thought J&D charging third scale prices at like 25, 2600, whatever, has been crazy. And now InArt's coming in, or Queen Studios, where, you know, you have a big ass fucking Hulk here, but 4,400 plus shipping, you're getting close to 5 G's at that point. I mean, that's, you know, for a 1/3 scale statue. I mean, that used to be like 2 or 3 1/3 scale statues, but I guess times have changed. But as far as the quality of the piece, Kiko, I'm with you. I mean, this thing is incredible. But I didn't mean to put you in a bad mood. But it does articulate. So it's kind of a figure. But imagine, Kiko, what InArt could do if they had the Marvel license. Like, could they make a Hulk like this in 1/6? Yeah, it'd be like $1,200. But, you know,
Yeah.
but I mean, imagine how good
the current Hulk is going for like $700-800. So
Right.
from Hot Toys. So
it is kind of exciting in that realm. Like, you know, if you had something like this where you could be like, dude, imagine this in 6 scale. Like, this would be, I mean, pretty incredible. But Dean, what do you think about this? Innovative or overpriced? What are your thoughts? Wait, Dean, are you still there? Oh, there he is. Okay. I was like, Dean gave me a dramatic pause.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. You asked me something, but you glitched. So I just heard like.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad.
What was your question?
I said, is it innovative or overpriced for you for the statue?
Oh, I don't think it's innovative. It's super minimal articulation on something that doesn't need it. Therefore, it's increasing the cost for seemingly no reason. It's like, okay, I could kind of move the head and the elbows. Thanks, I guess. Like, they don't even show it like changing like at the shoulders or the wrists. They just kind of move it like a few degrees at the elbows and the head. So it's like, I don't understand why they even included it. As for overpriced, I think it just depends. A third scale statue, that's fairly large. That's the size of a small person. $4,400. I mean, I have a statue that was like close to like $5,000, but it's much bigger than this. I have the Prime 1 Nosferatu Zod from Berserk in apostle form, and I mean, he's ridiculously huge. So it just depends, like, how much does the Hulk mean to you? Do you want the absolute best representation of the Hulk? Then yeah, maybe $4,400 is like a no-brainer. I like it. I really like it. I wouldn't spend that money on Hulk, but I'm not a Hulk guy. I would spend it on Nosferatu Zod.
A 1/3 Wanda. I'm in.
Would you do it, Kiko? Say they made it like 2,500. Would you do it?
2,500, 1/3 Wanda, rooted hair, and the articulated arms. Sure, I'll do that. I mean, I got a $1,700 Venom piece that's 1/3. I'd do a legit Scarlet Witch for sure.
Yeah. So it could happen. I mean, Dean, I'm with you guys. So as far as the quality of the piece, I'm with you. I mean, this is incredible, but I do think it's going to be a tough sell in today's collecting economy to sell this for $4,400. I mean, I think this is just a lot of money. I think it's a lot of money. This is for someone who just has kind of fuck you money, as Kiko always says. I think that's what this is. I mean, you know, it's 1/3 scale. It's beautiful, but yeah. So Dean, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I said that's fair. Like,
yeah,
some things just aren't for every collector, right? It's like,
yeah,
this is for somebody who has expendable income.
Yeah, which we all do to a degree, but I mean,
and because like, there's no go ahead, Will. Sorry,
no, go ahead, Kiko. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because there's no joints or anything to plug in. I mean, that's gonna be one solid fucking box. You know, there's nothing to break apart outside from the base. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, because he's going to come in one piece probably, besides the base, right? Yeah. So like he's just going to be one big fucking piece. So Yeah.
That's gonna be like
So-
the size of a matcha case type thing, wouldn't it? The box.
Yeah, I mean, probably, because I got to think,
Give or
I got to
take?
look up again the size of this one real quick. But I mean, it's massive. I mean, it's third scale. You think how big?
I mean, you
Hawk
see
is.
someone walking up to him, and it's like literally a person standing next to
Right.
him.
I mean, it's literally massive. So I mean, it's one of those where you really got to look at that and be like, dude, this thing is fucking huge. So it's a 92 centimeters in height. So yeah,
Calculate.
yeah, I'm converting right now.
Damn.
36
size of the
inches.
box?
36 inches in height. 36.
Okay, so it's 3 feet.
I-
That's not as big, I thought.
As a, like
Yeah.
Pennywise
Yeah,
is like 4 feet, something like that, 4.5.
I was gonna say my Prime One punchline is 34 inches tall. So
So
this
it's
is a
about that.
little taller than that.
Yeah, my Venom's 39 inches.
So yeah, so this would be
So it's
smaller
shorter.
than that.
Wow.
This would be smaller than that. Yep. That Venom is massive though, bro. That Venom is massive. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for letting me know your thoughts on that one, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. But Tyrius at 3 Subway sandwiches. It is pretty much.
Bro, when's the last time you measured a Subway sandwiches? They be skimping sometimes.
Shrink
do.
fucking
Footlongs
inflation
aren't
right there.
footlongs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a partner, but Subway can be if they would like, because I do like me some Subway. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap things up right around 7 o'clock here. And Kiko, bro, I know we got to get you to 10K. So what's coming up on the channel, man? I know you got some exciting things. So fill us in on some of that.
Yeah.
Excitement.
So the next big video,
Mhm.
if anyone ever wants to watch my shit again on YouTube, since people don't like doing that apparently, for real, like stuff just falls off a cliff sometimes. But
Happens to me too.
they're the best of us. But we are getting back to my toy photography for dummies, the definitive guide. That's going to be our next video. So that should launch this weekend, depending on what dice I want to roll for the algorithm there. We'll see which day we want to release that. But we did a look at how to do toy photography using the Batman, which people voted on, and we'll show you how to take it with your phone as well as with a camera, and hopefully it gives you some creative outlet, because that is the whole reason I got into this type of collecting, was because of photography. So it all comes full circle. So I'm excited to share that with you, and hopefully people will actually watch that one. The one I did before ended up getting a little more legs on. I think it's got like 10,000 views, but like originally everyone was like, oh, I want to tell me how to do that. I was like, oh, I'll put out a video. One view for like 6 months. And then it finally started to eventually get some traction. So hopefully this definitive guide helps a little bit.
Yeah. The algorithm is hard to crack, man. Don't feel bad.
It is. It is hard to crack. Now everyone wants Subway. So thanks so much, Tyria. But essentially, yeah, guys, get Kiko to 10,000. He's got a banger video that's going to be dropping soon. That's going to be pretty exciting. But yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. I'll get into my stuff. But of course, we have to get into collecting weekly, because Dean, you guys always dropping some fire content over there, bro. What's coming up on the CW channel?
Yeah, so today's Friday. We got just another Friday night. I think it's their first week back. One of the hosts had a surgery, and so he's just getting back into the rhythm of things. So they'll be doing that's a pop culture podcast. They just talk about whatever they've been watching this week. I don't know what they're talking about today. But tomorrow we'll be playing Baldur's Gate 3, Dungeons and Dragons, so that's always fun. Sunday, Zach and I took over the show question of the week. We just ask collectors different questions every week. This past Sunday was, what's your favorite figure accessory, like of all time? Well, I picked the Fusion Sword from Game Toys Cloud.
I think I saw that. I saw you and Zach talking about it.
Yeah. They're usually 5-10 minute discussions. It
was great.
You just tune in and type it in the chat. Then we'll talk about last week's answers this week, and then ask a new question. So that's Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday unboxing. I don't know if we have anything this week, but then Tuesday's the main show. Wednesday After Dark. Thursday Small Talk. So a lot of content every day. So
nice. Well, guys, check out Collecting Weekly, of course. Amazing channel. A lot of sex appeal over there with that amazing panel. So that's absolutely awesome. But
play
yeah,
Helldivers with us.
Oh, okay. There we go. We got to do that anyway. But guys, so check out these two. Of course, we're trying to get to 10K as well. So Kiko and I both need to get to that 10K. We got to get Collected Weekly there too.
Kiko's
10K.
close. Kiko's 7.5.
Yeah, Kiko's
Will's
absolutely
8.6 or something. Last time I looked
like
looked at the
8.7.
tracker.
It's almost 8.8. We're getting close to 8.8.
Nice.
So we're closing
I
in.
pulled up. Yeah, I pulled up your channel just now, but
Dean doesn't subscribe. Dean doesn't subscribe, but
That's not
He's
true.
a long time lurker.
No,
He's
I
a
know he
long
does
time
that.
lurker.
Yeah, he is a long time lurker. But guys, so this Loki statue you can see shining bright like a diamond behind me is going to be reviewed. I'm almost done with that review. It should be up in the next couple days. I'm almost done with it. So that's going to be reviewed soon. And then of course that ModuSpace review for the mono, I think that's going to be something people want to see. So I'll be reviewing that one. And yeah, any other reviews that I get to, like I showed Kiko today, Pyramid Head, which I would call him Pyramid Man or Cone Head or whatever you want to call him. So that could be something I pick up. Maybe some other stuff. I want to get Mommy Wanda. I guess we'll see about that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream, and thank you so much for supporting us as always. Check out these guys, and of course, subscribe to this channel, like, and of course, click the notification bell. There'll be more. For people that are asking about the asking strangers type of videos, there will be more. I got plans for lots more, so there will be some plans. I even got one set up with another camera woman. So there's another camera woman coming in for a couple weeks from now. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. So guys, lots of fun stuff on the horizon. We got a new outro, so this is gonna be pretty exciting. And we're gonna go real Love Island for this one. So I guess that's what's gonna happen. So previously on Love Island. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Catch you in the next one. Peace out. See you later. Bye. Thank you for watching another episode of Lights Camera Collect. Please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out my amazing co-host channel, Kiko Collects, linked in the description below. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.